we wanted to show that Trump supporters aren't deplorable. They're everyday people. We're moms. We're educated. We've had careers. We had children. We volunteered in their schools, their sports activities. And we wanted to show everybody that we're not deplorable. We're normal, middle-class women.
There you have it. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is surging in the latest polls. A lot of this surge took place after Hillary's deplorables comment. Now, his supporters, Trump supporters, they've been embracing that label, deplorable. It's even become a campaign rallying call. Come on in from the Washington Examiner, Byron York. Now, this works both ways, actually, because Trump supporters, they embrace the deplorable label, but now Hillary is turning that against Trump. How are they doing that?
Absolutely. You know, this was not a gaffe. I mean, this was something that Hillary Clinton intended to say, and she hasn't apologized for the deplorable thing. She kind of backed off the half part, but not for the deplorable thing. So, yeah, on the one hand, it is helping solidify Trump's base. You just saw that in those interviews. On the other hand, what it is doing, it allows some willing members of the media to essentially apply a deplorables test when they interview Trump supporters. Look at Mike Pence, vice presidential candidate. His appearance on CNN earlier this week, Wolf Blitzer said, hey, you know, of course, some of Trump's supporters are deplorable, aren't they? How about David Duke? He's deplorable, isn't he? And Mike Pence actually condemned David Duke. He said, we do not want his support, and we do not want the support of people who think like him. And yet still the question was, yeah, but is he deplorable? In other words, trying to get the Trump campaign to adopt the Clintons' criticism of it. Pence didn't do it, and if you look at the coverage the next day, it was all Mike Pence refuses to call David Duke deplorable.
Let me look at the other side of the coin for a second, Byron, because yesterday on our show we had the actor Jon Voight. He's a Trump supporter. And we were talking about Hillary's deplorables comment. Watch this.
I got a little picture last night of this fellow holding up a sign saying, "Deplorable lives matter." And it was terrific. Yes, I think it's great. I mean, obviously she didn't invent that. Somebody took a lot of time and thought they were very clever writing it, but it has backfired a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's right. I think it has backfired. I think the expression deplorables on T-shirts and keychains and all the rest of it, that really has been turned into a pro-Trump rallying cry.
Oh, it has. It has. And it's created the sense of unity among Trump supporters, perhaps made marginal Trump supporters a little more intense in their support of him. But here again, it's something that Clinton, I think, is also using to try to unify her base. It's basically a base sort of thing. I'm not sure it brings in any new voters for Donald Trump or any new voters for Hillary Clinton. It's turned into a real sort of base play on her part and on his.
I think it's funny. I mean, the idea of people walking around with the big label, deplorable. I mean, you got to see the humor in that. I mean, that's a note of humor in this campaign, which has been sadly lacking until now. I mean, I like it. Do you?
Well, I think Jon Voight was right in the sense that, you know, they thought about this. This was not something that just popped out of Hillary Clinton's mouth. They thought about this. And to that extent, with the deplorable T-shirts and all of that sort of thing, it certainly did backfire when the targets actually embraced the charge.
Isn't this a wonderful and fantastic election for people in the
Every
news business?
single day is new.
It's manna from heaven.
Yes,
it is.
every day's a gift.
Byron York, he's all right. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you, Stuart.